Countdown. Oh, yay, we're live! Yay, finally! Hey, everybody. Welcome to Scandal Chat. We are finally live. We were having a few technical difficulties, so please forgive us for that, but we managed to work it out. Today, we're going to have a little more intimate chat, which means that, both I and Trisha will have lots and lots to say, because I'm sure we have a lot to say anyway about this week's episode, because there was a lot to talk about for sure. So we're basically going to be focusing on this week's Scandal episode, Ride, Sally, Ride. And you guys that are watching, if you're watching here on YouTube, you can actually leave comments and questions. Please do that. We want to hear what you guys think for sure. Keep in mind there is a little bit of a delay. So as you're watching, we're a little bit ahead of you, but we'll always make sure to kind of back up and kind of check the comments and see what you guys are talking about as well. So I think, my dear, that you have a lot to say about this week's episode.
Just a little bit.
I know, right? What did you think about it overall? What did you think about it? Like, did you like it? Or?
Yes, I felt that, we had the original season 1, season 2 type feel to it. That I was excited, most excited about, for sure.
Yeah, I liked it too. I did feel like, and I mentioned that in my review, I just felt like it started a little weird for me. Like, it just felt like it took a little while for it to like get itself into a good like rhythm. But once it did, I felt like it was really good.
Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with us, though. We hadn't seen Scandal pace in a while. I don't, as far as I'm concerned, 3A did not have the same pace or the regular Scandal pace that we were all used to. So I think we'd all been lulled, especially with the hiatus, so. But it was good to be back.
Yeah, it really was. Tell me, what was your favorite scene from this episode?
Oh, boy. That's a hard one. I mean, definitely the OLED scene, because they were actually speaking, and they were actually getting out what they wanted to get out. It seemed like that was refreshing to see. The other scene that I liked actually was the very last one with when I guess the unfolding of everything towards the end with the campaign, and announcing his basically his campaign, and now with Andrew, and the way that all came together. I like that.
Yeah. Interesting. I'm really kind of excited to see that play out as well, because I am a bit of a political junkie.
Yes.
Myself anyway, but I'm excited to kind of get to see. Really hope that they do show us that. I mean, I want to see all of the like crazy scandalness, but it would be, I don't know, I just think it would be really cool to kind of see their take on, actually going back out on the trail and getting what that is going to do to all of the characters on the show, because I think obviously, especially now with Mr. Andrew Nichols in the mix, I mean that's going to change a lot of different things.
Now the only thing that the thing that also I should say that it was exciting was to see all of them there, basically in the White House, that whole, bullpen type thing where everyone was trying to get the right language and the right situations out. So I hope they show more of that, because we didn't really get to see that with Fitz campaign.
Yeah.
So
that is true. Yeah. I think for me this week, there were a lot of really good scenes in this episode. I think that's why I really enjoyed this episode. There were a lot of fantastic, they're just all such good actors, and I feel like there are times when they just get, I got to give it Shonda Rhimes. I have moments when I'm just like, what are you doing, Shonda? Where I disagree, or I'm like, no, don't do that. But the woman knows how to write some dialogue,
Yes, she does.
I feel like the Scandal writers do such a good job of that. For me, Joe Morton, man, he's just been like a powerhouse since he's been on the show. And
all hail Joe Morton. All hail Joe Morton. Oh Lord, that scene.
Papa Pope is like not my favorite person in the world, but he's real. This week was like, that is it. He is so real and raw, and just like, hey, I'm gonna lay it all out for you. I'm not gonna bake you cookies, and or anything fatherly. But I'm going to destroy the man you love, and let me tell you about it. So, that scene this week was intense.
He has the way of making Olivia feel like she's 13 13 again.
Oh, no.
It just the way that, and you know, sometimes my mother does that to me too. So I think, you know, our parents have that ability to do that to us regardless.
Yeah.
So I think we all identify with that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine, you know, this conversation after Fitz has already told. I mean, that scene was like 1,000 things going on in my head.
Yeah.
1,000 things going on in my head. I will tell you the one thing that really bothered me about this particular, you know, if we're talking about good, you know, switching over to the bad, is that I don't like the fact that the first thing that in the scene with Olitz, the first thing she's going to ask is about Jake and B613. I'm sorry. She just had this incredible scene with her father where he, like, you know, talking about her relationship, you know, her relations, and how Fitz said that she tastes good and all this stuff, and that he's coming after her. You know, he's coming after Fitz and her, and she needs to be running and be scared. I'm sorry, but the first time I see Fitz, the first thing I'm going to ask him is, why did you put Jake, you know, from B613 in charge, you know, or in charge of B613? I'll bring that up first. And why is it that there was no conversation at all of that? And that, hello, we need to deal with my father.
I know, right?
I'm like, seriously. I mean, I don't know.
Because obviously, I mean, as the episode went on, we get that he should be afraid. Because, I mean, we saw, by the end of the episode, we see Papa Pope connecting with Leo, you know, with Sally Langston's guy. So we get that he's going to do whatever it takes to destroy Fitz, basically. I mean, like, overall. I totally get what you're saying. I mean, I think that's when the show just kind of, you know, I think sometimes they lose a little continuity.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, did you just come back from seeing your dad? Because you would think the first thing you said to him was, let me tell you what just happened to me.
Exactly.
And we should have somebody watching my dad.
Exactly. And then, like, the next day, I mean, it was like, do not pass go, straight to the White House, and let's talk to Fitz about this. So it was just... That bothered me really bad. Yeah. Not to mention that, I mean, jump into that whole conversation with them and them speaking. You know, I've spoken to some of the gladiators on Twitter and different things about that particular scene. And
which one?
The same scene, the Olitz scene, where they're discussing what's going on. You know, basically about her resigning and him saying he doesn't, you know, want that.
Oh, yeah,
you know, Fitz wants Olivia. He wants to win with Olivia. He does not want to win because of Olivia.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
He wants to win by himself. You know, he wants to do it his way. And, you know, so I think, and she gets that, but I think that there is, you know, there's this, I'm not sure. I think there's some folks that feel that there's an underlying situation where he doesn't. Well, he's very dependent on her regardless, but that's what he's trying to appeal to. He's trying not to run, you know, because of her. It's the only way I can describe it.
Well, and you know what? I think what you just said just totally reminded me of the fact that, because I was wondering about, what was the whole point of that, you know, where it was like he kept kind of, where she even tells him, okay, Andrew Nichols looks really good, but, you know, I'm telling you, you know, there's something in my gut says no, but he's really kind of insistent about it. And then also seems very insistent throughout the campaign. But like you were saying, it just reminded me of the whole defiance thing. You know, I think part of that is Fitz wants to win so much because he wants to win, but I think because he wants to prove that he can do it on his own. He can do it, you know, the right way. And so I think, you know, I think that's definitely part of that. I wonder if we won't see some of that pushback as well, just because of defiance, you know, see him kind of like listen to her, but at the same time kind of be like, look, I'm going to do it my way this time, type of thing, you know?
Correct. I mean, and I think the real reasoning for him wanting Andrew is because, you know, as his running mate, is because I think it's kind of his it's kind of like a secret card that he holds. I think he knows about the affair. I think he knew that Millie was sleeping with Andrew, and that is he's waiting to use that as an advantage, you know, because, you know, I've always brought up that scene in the limo. Yes. I've always used, you remember, I always bring up that scene where they're in the limo and she apologizes and no one knows what the hell she was apologizing for. We just assumed that it was just something.
That's right.
But could it be that she was apologizing for the affair? And expecting that to go away, but he knew. So I'm thinking he's going to use that as as to his advantage if he needs to, and say, look, this is your chance to walk away. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really, really good theory. I want to just take a peek at. No, what were you going to say?
Okay. No, I was just saying because everyone. I'm just saying everyone thinks that there's this underlying thing that Fitz can't do anything without Olivia, but he can think for himself. He can be his own man, and he can do some things. And I hope that's what we see more of.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Well, and I think Fitz as a character is just one that, I mean, he's been developed in some ways, but I still feel like there's so much for him to develop. I mean, the more we see in flashbacks, the more we get that, I mean, Fitz is who he is because of the people around him, because the people around him have pushed him to be that, whether that was his dad, and as soon as he got old enough to get married, that became Mellie, and it's like, I still feel like he's like this grown man who's still trying to figure out who he is.
Correct.
And so, I mean, I think there's parts of him that he knows that and he has that assurance, but I still think there's so much of him, that has yet to be explored. So I'm really hoping that. Well, I think she will do that eventually. I mean, that's that's the joy of having a TV show on the air. Yeah, exactly. Let's hope. So we just want to give a shout out to you ladies who are out there watching, and gents, if there's gents out there. Right now, I can see in the comment section some people chatting. So Gladiator in Harlem is watching. Hello, my love. And also Alexandria. So ladies, we are so glad to have you here with us. I want to read some of the comments here. Gladiator in Harlem says, I should feel so bad that I love Papa Pope, but I don't. I'm proud to love Big Papa. No shame. Okay. We'll let you love him. Whatever.
Even though he's dangerous.
I know, exactly. Alexandria was just saying that she loves that scene that we were talking about. The scene between Olivia and Fitz, I think. Right. And let's see. Oh, that's so true, Alexandria, because she makes the point, during that conversation, he tells her, Papa Pope tells her about that comment that Fitz made about what Olivia tastes like. So she's saying I would be asking him about, she'd be asking Fitz about that comment.
Absolutely. Like, what context were you discussing our sex life to my father? Hello?
Yes, exactly. That's so funny. I loved that whole scene too. The scene where she comes to resign, because when she starts to realize that, she's the story now because, of course, the whole rumors of their affair is now is resurfacing. And it was intense, as all Olit's scenes are intense, really. And they do have such great chemistry. So, I mean, even the whole bit about don't close the door.
Poor Lauren.
And then when he closes the door, like, you leave that door open because she knows what's going to happen.
Poor Lauren. I mean, honestly.
I just keep thinking she's going to write
him. If we could just do like a selfie of all her looks, that would be nice. Like if we could just put a montage, do a meme with just all her looks. Because, I mean, I tweeted her too and said, Lauren, your facial expressions on that epi was everything. I mean, it just said everything. She's walking it. I mean, when at the top of the episode, like,
I don't know what to do.
So yeah, props to her for sure. Poor Lauren. I hope they. I don't know.
That's so.
But
funny.
yeah, that.
Well, let's talk about, since we were talking about Mellie. Let's talk about Mellie's love, about this Andrew Nichols guy. I kind of guessed it, of course. As soon as he said something to Olivia about having lost his chance, I was like, oh my God, this is it. This is Mellie's love.
Exactly.
And then he became this like playboy / governor or whatever. But I don't know. There's a part of me that's kind of excited for her, But at the same end, I don't really trust him. But then, I don't trust anybody on Scandal. Because of Olivia's gut, really. Because I think there's something that's about him that is giving her pause. And so I really wonder what that is. Does he want, did Fitz, I don't know, how did he fall in love with Mellie? How did that end? Is he somehow trying to get back at Fitz? Is that why he's, doing this? But at the same end, it's like, I don't know. I am excited for Mellie, though, just because I still remember that whole scene between her and Fitz, and I think it was last season. Remember the conversation they had about love, and she was basically saying how what they were doing, the faking it thing, was what real love was, or something like that. It just made me so sad for her, because I just thought, that's awful. I don't know, just the look on her face when they were standing there, and he said to her about waiting 12 years or whatever to be here with her, and she had this look on her face, just like, that was kind of like, what is this? Like, so I'm kind of excited about that. What are you thinking about?
Well, I think the circumstances are, and of course now we know, the story of, of her being, raped by Big Jerry and everything. I think her toll, her toll on all of that. I think she feels. I don't think that Andrew was a love for her. I think it was kind of a circumstance. I can only obviously speculate because we don't know much information on how they got together. But I think with Fitz going on the campaign trail and her being there, I think she lost a part of him, because obviously their relationship, at one time they were in love, and at one time, their relationship was very organic. So it was new, it was fresh, and I think when Fitz goes on the campaign trail, or when he starts that part of his life, she lost a part of him. Because now she had to share him with everyone else. Yeah. And when she was attacked, she may have told Andrew. It's a possibility he knows that she was sexually assaulted by someone. She may not know whom, but maybe he was the one that comforted her. And she felt a connection to him, and that's how the affair got started. So I'm like thinking all these different things and how they may have gotten together. I think at some point he fell in love with her, yet it was not reciprocated because she knew it could never happen. But, just out of, consoling her or whatever, they ended up having an affair. Of course, we don't know when and where, but we're assuming that, it happened before. And then because of that, Fitz may have found out, which caused the breakdown in their marriage, which now leads to meeting Olivia Pope in this presidential election. So I can only speculate, though. That's what I'm thinking must have happened.
Especially because if he found out that she had an affair, we all know kind of the effect of his dad having multiple affairs. How much Fitz hated that. So I mean, that would definitely be. I really am. I can't wait for them to do some flashbacks on that. For us to really kind of see what that whole relationship between her and this Andrew Nichols is all about, and what was the end of it. I'm really looking forward to that scandal, and I hope it happens in the next 7 episodes.
Do you remember last week when we spoke and we were talking about I kept telling you I wanted that conversation with Olivia and Millie, about them I'm thinking 312, we are about to see that little conversation about, who's the whore now kind of thing,
That's right.
So, all whores unite. I don't know what they're going to say, but I'm waiting for that meeting, and I think we're going to get that next week.
Well, and of course we did get, Mellie did get to, throw her whore jab into Olivia this week again.
Yes.
As the two of them went out to lunch. That whole scene, I just found that so entertaining.
That was
Mellie, of course, set up the lunch to try to rehab Olivia's, to make everybody see, if the First Lady's okay with Olivia, then maybe she's not having an affair with her husband, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But, just the whole kind of symbolism as the two of them sat there and smiled at each other, and the cameras are clicking, and it looks so pretty from the outside. Oh. And then on the side, Mellie's calling her a whore, and it was just kind of like, This is,
Yeah.
I mean, such a symbolic kind of scene of their relationship, I felt.
Right, and I mean, just, oh my God, kudos to Lynn Paulo and the way that she dresses them for their moments. Their clothes reflect what's truly going on. I mean, top of the scene, top of the episode, you've got Olivia in her black and her gray. She's not gladiating right now. She doesn't have on the white hat.
Yeah.
Millie's in her green. She's jealous with envy. She finds them in the Oval Office together kissing. Right? But
yes.
Now you tap into the lunch. Olivia has on the white. She's here. She's got her armor on, and here's Millie in red because she's angry. She's furious that this is going on. I mean, Lynn Paulo has that the colors that they wear and their inner of what the inner things that are going on right there. That's how I always know how the episode's going to go, or that scene's going to go, because you can always tell by the clothing of what they wear, her and Olivia wear.
I didn't even think about that, especially Mellie in green. I mean, that was just...
Yes, that was the thing. That was all about envy. And, the red was fire, mad, all right, we're going to do this because I've worked so hard to get here. You are going to help me regardless. And Olivia was ready because she's like, I know she's going to attack me. We're in this big restaurant. We're doing all of this. So, yeah, that scene was... Yeah, I didn't care for the whore comment, but everything else was good.
I know, right? I mean, how many times is she going to call this woman a whore?
Exactly. So.
I mean, probably a lot. I'm going to go back in and read some of the comments. Ooh, Deirdre's here. Hi, Deirdre. Frenchie D, our resident gladiator from France. Next week we will have to have you join us for sure, Deirdre. I never remember what time it is in France. I'm always afraid I'm going to be asking you to wake up at 5 a.m. and talk about Scandal with us.
Exactly.
Okay, Gladiator in Harlem's got a few good questions, because we didn't talk about this scene. Oh, let me go back and read something else that she said. Oh, she also says, I love the parallel between Big Jerry and Rowan, both being parents that started from humble beginnings and lived through their children's lives. Even crazy, powerful parents do that. And that is a really great point about both Fitz and Olivia's parents being crazy. Let's see what else. Oh, that's a good question. She also asked, does Cyrus know that Rowan is Olivia's dad?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I remember Fitz telling him that. If it wasn't Fitz, it was James. Somebody told him that. But that's another thing that never comes up. The fact that Cyrus knows that. But I need to double check that. If anybody knows, let us know, because I think I remember him saying something.
I don't know if that's ever come up. Yeah. She also asked, or she says, do we think that Fitz is possibly fooling us all? Remember in season 1 when he said you underestimate how good a politician I am? And remember, he is a Rhodes Scholar. So, Fitz could be putting the wool over all of our eyes in the end. So.
Well, this is what I keep saying.
For sure.
This is what I keep saying. That's why I think he orchestrated Andrews as VP.
What?
No, I said that's why I think he orchestrated. That's why I think that whole Andrew being his running mate for VP is orchestrated. I think that's his making.
See, now, and that would be I would love to see that. If Fitz turned out to be, way more in charge than we think he possibly is, that would be fantastic.
That's right.
Gladiator in Harlem also asks, oh, Deirdre says it's only 10:30 in France, so there you go. So we're not waking you up. Gladiator in Harlem says, how shocked were you when Fitz dismissed Olivia from the Oval Office? I think that was Fitz's response to his power play move, her whole earn me speech. And she's saying, they really are equals in this relationship, which I think they are equals, but I was kind of surprised. I think it was just, he was angry.
I just think he was reacting, honestly.
Yeah. I know, and I didn't want to, especially because he was sitting there drinking, and it was like, okay, come on, Fitzgerald. Put the alcohol down. Talk about Quinn really quickly. So,
Lord.
obviously, Quinn is trying. a B613 wannabe, but, you know, now that Jake is command, I mean, that's not going to happen, right? Because Olivia even says to Jake, you know, please don't let that happen. But he already wasn't going to. I also am sensing that he does not trust Charlie, which is a good thing.
Correct.
But obviously, Quinn is still kind of hanging out with her new BFF/boyfriend.
Quinn doesn't have a job.
She's kind of disturbed. She doesn't have a job, and she's obviously like lacking any kind of direction. I'm worried for her, and I'm hoping that Olivia is going to really kind of step it up in that department. But I mean, even the whole bit where it's like she's going to help Charlie. We got a job. It's like, so now you're an assassin, and you're going to go around kidnapping people's children. Like I just feel like she slipped into this whole lifestyle way too easily.
Yeah, well, you know, the developing of that, and, you know, I blame Huck. I'm having a real hard time with Huck.
I agree.
You know, he created a monster and then let her out and just left her hanging.
Yeah.
And he, you know, the power of that and what that becomes, I'm not sure of that. I'm not sure why or they chose to go that way with her. And the thing is that, you know, now Jake doesn't want her. She's not gonna do that. You know, they don't want her over at OPA. Well, Huck doesn't want her at OPA. So now she has to resort to, you know, just hanging out with Charlie and helping him on his side jobs and, you know, babysitting and waiting tables. How do you go from assassin to waiting tables? They need to give her a storyline and quick.
Yeah.
I mean, this is scary. I mean, and thank you. She's kidnapping kids now. How do you do that? You go from...
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm really, really scared. I'm very concerned for Quinn.
That was the part that really bothered me, because
yes,
I mean, she shouldn't kill people either. That would bother me too. But
no, well,
that little kid, I was like, is she gonna kidnap that little kid? Like, I have a problem with that.
I have a big problem with that. I have a very big problem with that. And it just goes to show you, it's just that, you know, she's so lost right now that she'll follow anything. And it's just, you know, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. And right now, that's what she's doing.
Right. Well, and obviously too, I mean, we've gotten all along from Olivia. I mean, that's what she does. Is she gathers kind of, you know, these broken people around her, and her goal is to kind of, you know, it's so deep if you think about it. She's so ready to fix everyone else's life, you know, and that is almost like this hobby to her. At the same time, she does it in her work. She does it, you know, in every area of her life. She does that, while her life is like in complete and total shambles.
But you know, that's another. That's kind of another thing I'm having trouble with.
I think feels responsible for Quinn.
Yes, but she also
about Olivia.
Yeah, but she also left, you know, Huck in charge, you know, someone that she trusted in charge, you know, Quinn was he was in charge of Quinn, basically, and he let her down. And, you know, I'd like to see the consequences from that.
I hated that whole bit.
I mean, and her just mentioning to Jake that she wants Quinn back. Did we know? How did she know that she was B613? Was it because Huck told her? I can't remember now because it seems like so long ago.
Remember, Huck tells her, you know, that because Huck does admit that he hurt her.
That's true.
Olivia,
that's right. Yes.
I remember your dad or whatever. Blah blah blah.
I remember that.
And I think that's why Olivia says to Jake, like, you know, no.
And you know, that whole conversation, I know she's trying to save Jake. That, you know, the whole thing about are you a patriot? Obviously, because she wants to use him as the guy.
Yeah.
That was a very sad conversation. But you know, she's trying to save him. But in essence, that conversation didn't make any sense to Jake, because Jake is already B613. So how are you going to try to save him when he knows exactly what that organization is about? And I thought that was an interesting conversation. Because I mean, I get her point, you know, because she's kind of saying, look, my dad used to be a normal kind of guy, and look what happened to him. So I think, I mean, she's genuinely concerned that, you know, even though he knows what he's getting into, I mean, it's like, is that going to turn him into? I thought it was an interesting thought. Let's talk about him too, just in the whole "Are you a patriot?" thing, because obviously now he's going to be faking the relationship with Olivia because he wants to be a patriot, but also because I think he wants Olivia.
You
Of
know,
course.
that's
Of
going to be
course.
some interesting faking.
Yes.
Now I know people have strong opinions about Jake. But, Jake is the guy who's like, maybe you should go hang out with him because he's a little less complicated, even though obviously, that's not going to happen in the long run. But I don't know. I mean, I think they're trying to keep the love triangle alive, and this whole kind of new development totally does that. Because
Angry Fitz.
now she'll be kind of keeping up image with him. Yeah, and we get jealous Fitz, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, we get jealous. We get jealous and angry Fitz is because it's the only way to keep Jake relevant. And there's a lot of us that had trouble with that. I don't believe that Olivia should be with Jake just because he's single, and that seems to be kind of the undercurrent of everything. I know a lot of people that are probably single in Washington. If that's the case, Harrison's single.
I don't think it's just that, because part of me feels like they're trying to prop Jake up as, hey, that you have other options. Here's this other option in this guy that you are attracted to. Who would be less, kind of complicated. But at the same time, it's like.
But I still have an issue. This guy he was a voyeur. He watched her every movement. She found out about it. And all of a sudden we're supposed to be best friends and now I'm supposed to date you? Whatever. I have a problem with that.
That was his job.
I don't want to hear
that. That was his job. I like Jake.
No.
Jake has me in certain moments. I mean, I'm all about Olitz, but I mean, I get the Jake thing, and I mean that's supposed to be the other side of the love triangle. There's an appeal to that person at the same time that you're desperately in love with this other person over here. And obviously now that gets complicated because they're going to be doing it to make sure that the public is kind of thrown off of the Olitz trail. So
yes, and I understand that, but just like Millie said, there was a whole sheet full of other people she could have been with. But then again.
Because then we could have possibly had Edison come back, and then I would be done. Man. Can I tell you, was that you that was tweeting, or it was Tangela, or somebody was tweeting about a rumor that Idris Elba was going to be on Scandal?
Yes.
I was
oh my gosh.
Now that would be a love triangle, because I would be like, you need to go see him.
Yeah. Now, that triangle I could get with.
Yeah.
That triangle, you know what? I would be like, oh my God, I love you, Fitz, but did you see him?
I know.
Yeah, right? I would kind of be on that, and
that would be a problem for the Olitz shippers in the house, because
it would, me included.
Very included.
But Shonda squashed that real quick.
Yeah, she totally did. I thought that was kind of funny. But then I thought to myself, what if she's lying because she's trying to keep a secret? So, we
just never know.
Fans holding out hope. Deirdre, who I already know hates Jake, wants to spew her Jake hate from across the world. She says,
across the pond.
Jake needs to go. He's creepy. He's willing to take his best friend's leftovers.
Yes.
Really pathetic.
Yes, he is pathetic.
Oh, Jake. I kind of like Jake. He has his moments where I'm feeling him.
There is no moment whatsoever. He doesn't even invoke love. I don't even feel anything when he's on screen. Come on. It has nothing to do with Olitz.
It's going to be okay, Josh. It's going to be okay. You're like, no.
No.
Let's talk about the other kind of backstory that we're finally getting, and that is Harrison. So you were right last week when you mentioned the whole Adnan Salif might possibly be a woman. I was still sitting in front of my TV like, is that Adnan Salif? I wasn't expecting it still. But so Adnan Salif is a woman, and Harrison is scared, but not so scared that he isn't ready to take his clothes off. I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
Thank you. You know what? I wasn't expecting it, but I'd like to first start off with this, and like I've said this on Twitter and I tweeted it out before. Every desk in OPA needs to be disinfected. I don't want to sign no papers. I don't want to put a cup down. I don't even want to have a seat in your chair. Get me some Pine Sol so I can wipe off the table before we can have any conversation. That killed me. But yes, it's interesting to see what that's going to develop into, and how, he's so scared of this woman, but yet he can sleep with her.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I kept thinking was, okay, obviously there's way more to the story than we realize, because
yeah, and then and the thing
that's not the way you greet someone you're afraid of.
It's certainly going to go steal a gun because you want to shoot her. I mean, really, what kind of relationship was that? That is interesting.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I had this theory that it was that he had testified against somebody, but obviously that's way more involved than that.
Yes.
Because it sounds like, they were involved in who knows what. So I'm excited to finally kind of learn more about Harrison.
Right.
And, yeah, I guess to learn more about Adnan Salif and why he is so afraid of her. And maybe not, I guess, of her, but of what she brings, and signifies. So I guess we'll be learning more about that. I'm excited to kind of finally get that. So.
I'm interested to see how she found him as well. How does she know where he was? Which I don't know. Well, I guess in the papers and stuff she could have been looking at him from afar.
Well, and something tells me that she probably always has known, and then immediately, as soon as she was in the country, thanks to Cyrus,
correct.
Then, go. So I don't know. Speaking of Cyrus, that immediately makes me think of his mini-me, which is Leo, who just is in trouble, I feel like. But let's talk about Sally Langston. Obviously,
straight up
Miss Vice President is gonna, do her whole run for president thing. But yeah, what about her whole crazy "the devil made me do it" speech? I mean, that was a lot.
Cuckoo.
Yeah.
She has already.
And her too, like.
She has already started. I think she's already started her pattern for her insanity defense when she gets found out. And I know her. Leo is
already begun.
It has already begun, and Leo is just like, "Oh my God, what is wrong with her? She really believes this shit." I mean,
I know the look on his face was just like,
oh my gosh, what did I sign up for?
He was horror struck, just like, okay, what are we gonna do with this?
More importantly, what do you?
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of excited to see what's gonna happen. What were we gonna say?
No, go ahead. I'm here.
Trisha?
I'm here.
No, what were you going to say?
No. No, I was going to say I'm interested to...
Were you going to say something? Oh.
Yes, I was going to say is that I'm interested to see what Leo and Rowan are going to discuss.
Yeah, that is true. Well, because obviously, I mean, they both want to destroy Fitz.
Correct.
So I'm sure that's going to be part of it. It's one of those things where it's like, obviously they've got this huge thing on her in that she killed her husband, but they can't really tell anybody that since they helped to cover it up. But I don't know. Who knows if Cyrus won't figure out a way to do that? I thought there was one of those scenes between Cyrus and Leo, where they were kind of squaring off in Cyrus's office, where Cyrus just looks at him, and I just thought, this was that moment when I just felt like this boy does he know who he's fighting against? Like, Cyrus fights dirty, and I think Leo's in over his head.
I think so too. And if Leo don't watch himself, he gonna have an accident either with Rowan or Cyrus. Somebody's gonna get killed, and he's gonna get served up. Yeah, that is so funny. The other side of this too is James, poor James. To think that he can bring down Cyrus is just it. Yeah. Poor Ting Ting.
I don't know what he's thinking. Like, at first I was thinking, like, I forgot about the fact that Cyrus made him press secretary. I was like, what's he doing there? Why is he getting... And then I was like, oh, yes, that's right. That was his whole, that was his reward for figuring, what Cyrus did. But then it was just kind of like when he reveals at the end that he's, like, trying to play the Trojan horse, and trying to be, like, the inside man. It was just like...
Yes.
Okay. I just thought...
Hey, Sandra.
I don't know what he's thinking. Like, at first I was thinking, like, I forgot about the fact that let us fix that. Sandra, I can see your picture, but I can't hear you. That's right. That was, Well, we're gonna give Sandra a moment to try to. Oh, there she goes. Hi, Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
I'm gonna turn you back up, but you need to put some headphones on because if not, we can hear your computer. Oh, wait. Yeah, because we can hear or mute the chat that's going on because we can kind of hear that, like, echoing. Okay. I think you've done it. Because I don't hear myself anymore. Yay, Sandra's here. Sandra.
Hey, Sandra.
What did you think of this episode?
Oh my God! I just watched it again right before I got, I knew I was going to come in here. Oh my God! So much happened.
I know, right?
Crazy. I mean, but I know you guys are just talking about James and Cyrus, and you're so right. James does not stand a chance. But what's going on? Why all of a sudden now does he want to take him down? I don't get it.
I don't understand it either, Sandra.
I mean,
do you think it's because of the way that Cyrus kind of, that last conversation they had when Cyrus pretty much told him, like, when James was like, I'm taking the baby and I'm leaving, and Cyrus was like, no, you're not. Like, basically, you're here and I've got you where I want you. So maybe he's just kind of, like, trying to revolt against that a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, yes, and yes. I agree with that. But the problem with that is that James does not know. He knows the game, but he's not the player. He's not that kind of person.
No.
Yeah.
He's way out of his league.
And honestly, he should have taken tips from Frank Underwood on how to sneak information out to the press.
Oh my God. I know, huh?
You don't do it yourself.
Right, I know, and the look in his face, when David was saying to him, like, whoever that is, they're going to kill him. And then, you see this look on James's face, and David's like, no. Like, it's not you. Like, tell me that you did not do that. And James is like, yes, it's me.
It was me. It's like, oh my God. I almost fell out.
They're going to find you and they're going to kill you.
And poor David.
I do think, I know. I do think he made a really good point, though. He is Cyrus's weakness. Yeah. And the fact that he was able to plant a bug in that man's office, it's because it's the truth, So, right. I don't know. I feel I'm a little worried for David Rosen because I'm like, David, don't get involved. Look what happened to you last time. Do not get involved in this again and get in trouble.
Oh,
but David, I guess we'll see.
He already knows that he should not trust Jake. Oh. He already knows.
Twice.
But yet he's so tempted with this whole thing, and he wants to give it a try, and he wants to see what'll come from it. But
yeah,
it's not going to end well for either one of these guys. It never does.
I agree.
Well, and David's got. I mean, especially now that they've got the whole recording, and they get that the vice president actually killed her husband. It's like, exactly. David is the white hat. So it's like, he's always going to try to, do the right thing. I think even when he knows the consequences could be, not fantastic for him. I'm hoping that he actually learned from the last time, though, and that if he does it, that he's going to be smarter about it this time.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he has pulled off some good, smart things in the past,
Yeah, but whoever he aligns himself with always ends up double-crossing him somehow, or he ends up,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, can you just practice law and forget it? Just persecute a robber or someone else. Just stay out of the White House. You just stay. Curse.
Just stay. Okay, I'm going to read some of the questions and stuff that people are saying in the comment section. Ooh, Gladiator in Harlem has a theory about Adnan Salif, that maybe she's the daughter of a mob boss, and she loves Harrison, and her dad is angry, and that's why he's going to die. That's a thought. Everyone agrees with you, Tresha, about the germs in OPA, and that all of those desks need to be sanitized, which is so the truth. Let's see. Oh, Deirdre says Sally's campaign manager is going to get himself killed. Wouldn't it be cool if he had an affair with Sally? Let's see what the devil is going to make her do then. That's hilarious.
Well, yeah, all he has to do is just tell her Jesus, say Jesus, and then, you know. That's it. Just
Lord, that woman is just
everything.
a mess.
I don't. Sally just. Oh Lord, I don't know. She's so delusional.
I don't know what she's talking.
She's so delusional. It's actually quite sad, really.
She really is, right? And I feel like she has been the whole time too. Like, remember the flashbacks from when they were on the trail? You know, when everyone thought she was actually going to beat Fitz, and you know, had this whole kind of like, this is my calling and this is destiny. God is, you know, going to make this happen. Blah blah blah. Which we all know that politicians in the past that have done that.
Yeah, but she truly believes that, you know, she's kind of delusional to the fact that, you know, faith will cause anything to happen, and that's just not the truth, you know.
Yes. Right.
She's so twisted.
It's known as delusions of grandeur. That's the official psychological term for that, and she is way up in it, and her religion is her dogma, it's everything, and it explains the way every single action she takes.
Correct.
Justification for it, and she is just basically way out there, and well, and it's become, I mean, she's becoming a little psychotic with it, obviously, because the devil made me do it. The devil came into me and did this while I wasn't, watching. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, blah, blah, blah. When she was giving that speech, I seriously was just like, okay, Sally's going to do something. Sally's going to kill everybody. I know. And that campaign manager just couldn't have given a damn. He didn't care.
He is such a snake.
He is
such a snake.
Well, he has his own to watch out for too. He's gonna do something really bad before the season's over. I love that actor. He is so fantastic. I love him in private practice. I love the guy. He's great. I can't wait to see what he does with all of this.
Right.
Yeah. Let me just look. I'm gonna peek at some of the questions people are asking. Oh, some people are tweeting me, FitFabDiva44, sending me tweets. Hello, my dear. She's a Jake supporter, it looks like. She says, Olivia was Jake's mission, and he fell for her. It wasn't planned. And I agree with her, but then, you know. Okay.
I'm sorry. No. I like Jake, too. I know you roll your eyes over there.
All right, more Jake supporters.
I
like Jake's.
This goes way back, though. My loyalty to him goes back to his days on that show with what's her name? His first big role.
Oh, Felicity.
Felicity.
Yeah.
I'm a fan for.
I'm sorry.
I know. My loyalty goes all the way back to then. And,
I'm sorry.
They need a foil. They need a third person, and they need a foil. Good. But I'm with you. Oh, man, if they brought Idris in, see ya, Jake.
Thank you.
We need to start a campaign, lady. I need some T-shirts or something. Woo!
Trust me, he is ready.
Idris Elba, please come to Scandal. I'm going to read some of the comments that people are leaving. Let's see. Deirdre says that James has never been the brightest bulb, which is so true. Yeah. Let's see. PLA Turner says Sally is like the real Tea Party that's in Congress. Wendy says says Sally for president. Come on, Wendy, now. Come on. Oh, that's so cute. OMG Mook, please says, I'm so happy so many people are talking about this show online. It makes me feel like I'm in a community. I don't know, I'm weird. You're not weird.
You're so not weird. You're so not weird.
Not at all.
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah, so it looks like there's quite a few people watching now. Hello, people. I'm trying to think what else happened. Oh, I wanted to talk about really quickly about the Vermont comment, right? Because I'm sure we all caught where Olivia made that comment while her and Jake were talking in the apartment. First of all, Olivia was down in that wine like it was Kool-Aid. I mean, this woman is obviously stressed. And it's so funny because, you know, like, obviously she's pregnant in real life. So there were several scenes during this episode where she was drinking, and I was thinking, I think I let her drink. And I was like, okay, Poppy, she's not pregnant on the show. I had to keep reminding myself of that.
There's grape juice.
Yes, but obviously they're doing their best to hide her belly with the purses and the, you know, the big coats and all that stuff. Yeah. But that moment, so she's having this conversation with Jake about whether he's a patriot and all that blah, blah, blah. But then she's so frustrated and she mumbles that under her breath about how Vermont is getting farther and farther away. And so obviously Vermont is like the long-distant like fantasy off in the distance. And, you know, she's getting a little frustrated by what's going on around her. I just thought it was an interesting little drop of the Olitz fantasy.
That, you know, Vermont was the, you know, with Fitz, you know, telling her that house was there for them, that was their dream realized. I mean, they were in their dream when that happened. So how could you possibly leave that behind? She felt for an hour overnight what that felt like to be with him in that house. That's a goal. That's a goal. That's something that she, you know, that she definitely wants to realize. But the cost for that, you know, she says, you know, so eloquently in that monologue, you know, that, you know, you start out thinking that you have a purpose, that you want to, you know, you want to do good things, and, you know, and being part of this, you know, doing your civic duty and being a part of this, you know, the administration, or working, you know, working for this bigger purpose. But all it turns out to be is you end up, you know, a casualty of war.
Yeah.
And you lose yourself. So, you know, it was actually, it was a beautiful monologue, and I, you know, and everything that she said. But it's very frustrating for her, because now this thing that she saw and she was able to feel, and they were able to be with each other in this dream, you know, it seems like it's slipping further and further away because of everything that they have to do.
Yeah. No, very true. It was really sad, is what it was. Even
it was
to watch her, as you realize, here's this woman who's tried to kind of dedicate herself to the bigger picture and to being a patriot. I mean, even that whole aspect of it too was, look what being a patriot did to my dad. Look what being a patriot did to my family. Look what you know, and look what it's doing to me and the man I love. Look what me trying to be a patriot and trying to, you know, let him be president and not be with me. Look what that's doing to me. And it was definitely, you know, we don't get to see a lot of raw moments with Olivia, and that was a real moment.
Yes, it was. And, you know, it also brought me right back to that conversation that she had with Amanda when, you remember way back in season 1, when she had the conversation and Amanda tells her why she first came, either was her or Quinn, why she first came to Washington. And what, you know, she came because she wanted to be a part of it, you know, a part of something bigger than herself and wanting to help others. And again, here she is, you know, dead 6 feet under, patriot. Yeah. It's the cost. So that's...
It's kind of interesting when you say that.
It's the cost of giving yourself to the public.
Yeah. The price to pay is really high.
Right. So yeah, it was very sad, and you know, and you know,
we talked about a lot of other stuff already. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying about, you know, and then Jake is like, Vermont. What the heck is Vermont? And I was just like, oh Lord. That was a pudding moment for me. That was a pudding moment for me. I was like, oh Lord. Oh. Okay,
well, you got Jake, and Poppy has Edison, and I have Papa Pope. I hate Papa Pope. I just want to make that really, really, really clear. Oh my God, I can't stand that man. Everything he says, the way he says it, the way he talks to Olivia. Please stop it. I just can't.
He's telling it like it is. He's telling it like it is.
I just can't. Oh my God. Ooh, but with all that being said, the man is a fabulous actor. I know you like him, Poppy. I know you like him from back in the day.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
My husband, who I forced to watch the show with me, he just goes, hey, you gotta hand it to that guy. He's a fantastic actor.
Yes.
He is bringing it. He's bringing it so good that I believe it so much that I hate him.
That is so funny.
Hands off to him for that.
Yes,
And I just can't stand it that he stands there and he just threatens his own daughter. That is just wrong. No?
It's wrong, but it's war. It's now war.
That's it. I mean, it's on. And he's out to get them all. And, oh, God, help him. I mean, him not being in command anymore doesn't seem to mean anything. Because he says
it means everything.
All the bodies are buried, you know?
It means everything to him. He's given his entire career, his entire being to that organization, and for him to be taken down, he doesn't take that too I'm
saying he's going to go down with that ship is basically what's about to happen.
But
absolutely, if it's going down, I'm taking it down.
Him not having that position anymore makes him no less powerful. He's just as powerful, if not worse, because now he's all of their enemies.
Information is power, and that's what he has.
That's it.
I'm going to read some of the comments. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying why that bothers me, because he specifically said he knew where all the bodies were buried. He knew where everything was. He knew everything, and Olivia did not bring that up to Fitz. I cannot believe there was not a conversation or mention, something. Her father is their biggest threat. Forget Mellie. Forget everybody else. Rowan is coming.
Rowan is coming. I'm sure that's
coming.
Conversation is going to be happening in the next episode.
Yeah, but it should have happened then.
Yeah, that would happen then. Makes sense. I agree. I'm going to throw out a few comments that people are leaving. FitFab Diva 44, Sandra, this is for you. She says, tell that girl that's talking she can't handle the truth. Leave Papa Pope alone.
I can handle it. He's vicious,
she
man.
Can handle the truth.
Yes, he is.
I love the truth. He's just vicious. I just don't like the way he talks to Olivia.
He's just vicious.
That's it.
Yeah. Even when they were there on the park bench, and you get that she's really trying to reach out to him. He was just kind of like, what do you want? And just very kind of abrupt and brusque with her. And you think, here's this moment to rehab him, for him to rehab himself. Like, look what I've been doing for you all this time. I've been hiding the truth about your mother. I've been kind of taking that abuse from you because I wanted to protect you. And you think, okay, maybe this is going to change their relationship. And then instantly, he kind of puts it back into perspective. So, I'm with you. Papa Pope needs some parenting lessons 101. FitFab Diva 44 also says Vermont ain't happening, and if it does, it may not be worth all the carnage as a result of it. It's a fine question.
The price to pay.
Kamara Harrington agrees with you, Trisha. She says, when is Olivia going to tell Fitz about her dad, and is there any way that she can save him? Which I think is a really good question, and I'm hoping that Fitzgerald Grant is going to save himself.
Thank you.
Where's Mama? That's the thing. What happened to Mama Pope? Where is she all of a sudden?
She's coming.
Yeah, Mama Pope's gonna show up soon. Yeah.
She's coming.
She's doing something evil. I'm sure she's about to show up.
That's gonna be some
I'm gonna read a few other questions. I agree. Let's see. Gladiator in Harlem asks, how do you think that Fitz is gonna find out about Cyrus cleaning up after Sally? Him cleaning up after Sally killed her husband.
He's going to have to eventually tell him. He's eventually going to have to tell him.
Yeah. I feel like from the preview for next week, there was this clip of Fitz where he was looking really mad because he was just like, somebody just told him something, and I just wondered if that wasn't it. Like, if it isn't going to happen soon. There's only 7 more episodes left this season. So I'm thinking that that's going to be coming really soon.
Sure.
And let me see. Oh, yeah, Gladiator in Harlem says the preview for 312 shows Olivia warning Fitz about Rowan.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's going to be happening. I think it was just a continuity thing. You know, it almost seems like they just, I don't know.
It just,
maybe filmed it out of order or something like that.
For me, it would have just been more important that had been addressed now, as opposed to why Jake was part of B613.
I agree with you. Except, you obviously have some Jake issues, though. So no,
I do. I really do. I do. And I'm okay. I claim it. I claim it.
I'll claim it.
I got Papa Pope issues. I claim it.
Let's talk about what's coming. Like, what are you guys looking forward to seeing for the rest of the season?
For the rest of the season, like I said, my biggest thing is I really want, like I said at the top of the hour, I really want Fitz to take control of his situation and to mold that so that it is more of, that Olivia is working with him as opposed to, as instead of her taking over, I want to see more Fitz taking control. I think that's the part of Fitz we have not seen. We've seen that, and every time he's done that, it's always been a better consequence because he's in control. Not drinking, not, being a punk, not just, googly eye over Olivia because, that only goes so freaking far. But I want to see him take control of his campaign and his situation.
Yeah,
that's what I hope.
That's
happens.
A good one.
And I really hope that they find a place for Quinn. Whether it be she's at OPA or B13, pick a place or a new place, wherever that is. Give her some dialogue because she's killing me right now.
Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to seeing how things develop with Mellie and the VP elect guy, or what's his name?
Andrew, yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how that all plays out and what all this stuff with Harrison and this woman. I mean, finally he's going to have a love interest, and that looks really interesting. And he's scared to death of this girl. So
he's not too scared.
That. There's so much. What's up with Mama Pope? Jeez, I mean, there must be 20, 30 stories going on right now. They just came back with a big boom Thursday.
Yeah.
And there's so much to track. So that's just sort of like, do you think there's too much on the canvas? Because it used to have more of a formula. I
don't think so. And I think part of that is a technique that a lot of TV shows do to throw you off the scent. They throw so much stuff at you that you forget about this little thing over here, and then the next thing you know, that little thing kind of blows up, and it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Right. I definitely feel like somebody left a comment on my review and mentioned that, the fact that this episode really did feel like they were really kind of laying the groundwork for the rest of the season and introducing a lot of those different storylines and trails that are, in the end, probably all going to converge and, make sense. But there was a lot, and I like that though. I like that a lot though. So.
But that's what Scandal's about. I mean, it's that's the whole premise for that show is how is it that these characters, particularly Olivia, deals with all these different levels, of her life, and I mean that's what it is. And
what were we gonna say?
No, I said that's just what it's about, and I'm glad that they got back to that multifaceted, type, the Scandal pace.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm trying to think, what am I looking forward to? I agree with both of you, really. I want to find out what Mama Pope is up to because I think she's obviously got a plan. So she stayed in Washington for a reason when she could have escaped. So I'm interested to kind of see what she's going to do, and I think to finally figure out what she's all about. And,
correct.
I think, I really want to figure that out. And then I'm really interested in figuring out about Andrew Nichols, the whole VP guy, and whatever him and Mellie have got going on. I'm interested to kind of see where that's going to go. So.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a hot mess. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I know it's going to be crazy. I can't wait for that. Let me just read some of the comments that people are leaving as to what they're looking forward to. Deirdre says, I'm looking forward to who's going to get killed, because I'm sure that's going to be a cliffhanger at the end of the season.
Yes, I agree.
Gladiator Harlem says, I want a showdown between Olivia and Mellie once and for all.
Oh, yes. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for that conversation. That dialogue needs to happen.
It will. And I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, those two, they've been dancing around each other for a while, so.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of this. Let me just peek. Gladiator in Harlem says, and I want the showdown between Olivia and Mellie to happen while Fitz is present. That sounds like a three-way to me or something weird there. Just kidding. That sounds like foreplay, and on that note, we're done. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know about that. Could you imagine? He just better sit down somewhere and shut up if he's there.
Trust me, he would. He would, but, you know, but either way, that dialogue needs to happen.
Yeah, that would be so. Let's see. FitFab Diva 44 asks, what do we think is going to be happening to Huck next? Because obviously we've seen Huck take a dive this season, character-wise, but we haven't. I mean, other than he just seems like he's barely hanging on. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're just kind of putting his character aside for the bigger story this season, or
right.
I'm not sure.
I think he's gonna obviously he's gonna come into play, but I think, you know, more or less with this whole, you know, thing about her, you know, bringing Quinn back into the fold, I think that's probably going to be, you know, his main purpose at this point. We know quite a bit about Huck already, but there's so many other characters that we still need to explore. I mean, what's Abby's purpose at this point? You know, you know, she's sleeping with David. They have an understanding. He knows what's going on. She knows what's going on, but yet they're playing like, you know, she doesn't. That bothers me too. You know how. I think right now we have so many characters right now.
Yeah.
That somebody's going to put it back.
Sandra was saying, that there's so much going on that at times
that's what I mean.
Does suffer.
People are getting lost in the shuffle, and you know he tortures Quinn, and then he's not on for a couple of weeks. You know.
Yeah. It makes it harder.
There's not enough room for everybody.
Yeah. No, that's very true. Okay, you guys, we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to read one last comment just because it's hilarious. Wendy Benta says, Olivia needs to get on Iyanla Fix My Life. Her mama and Papa Pope need to go on there. And so
oh my God, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome if that happened.
I would watch that.
I know, right? Thanks so much for watching Scandal Chat this week. We will see you guys again next week. Just so you know, if you happen to miss any of the chat, probably in like about 15 or 20 minutes, it'll show up on my YouTube channel, the whole thing, and you'll be able to watch it from beginning to end. If you want to find out more about the two lovely ladies who are with me here today, Tresha or Sandra, I'm going to put their information down in the comment section below, and their links to Twitter pages and all other kind of fun things right there. And yeah, thanks so much for chatting with us this week, you guys. And we will see you soon. Ladies, don't leave. Stay right where you are.
Okay.
But we'll say goodbye to you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.